For those of you looking for a reduced fast trail runner with extra grip, it's back, and I like it.
Ginger Runner.
What is up, everybody? Ethan Newberry, the Ginger Runner, here for another Ginger Runner review. Today, we are reviewing a shoe from Salomon, the Sense 4 Pro. I'm into it. So before we start talking about the shoe, just want to remind you that there was a new film that dropped on this channel last week called The Last Mile. It follows the last mile of the Western States 100 with Caitlin Gerben, her whole race, the craziness that happens at the last few moments there, the drama. Go check that out. Link there and anywhere on the channel. And also, this is the final few days to register for GRGR, which is the Ginger Runner Global Run, which starts on Monday, July 6th. It's 7 days of surprise challenges each and every day. We hope you jump in there and participate because it does support some amazing artists who are financially impacted by COVID-19, as well as some small businesses. So there's still time to register for as little as $10. Go check it out at rungrgr.com. Now let's talk about this bad boy. Today's shoes were provided by Running Warehouse for this review. Remember, all opinions are my own. I am allowed to say whatever I want about everything I review. The Salomon Sense 4 Pro is the fourth version of a shoe that, I still have pairs of. The Sense Pro was probably my first favorite Salomon shoe that I ran in. And over the years, I just sort of forgot about it. There were just so many other shoes that took my interest that the Sense 4 Pro kind of flew under my radar for a bit. In addition, there's just so many different naming conventions with Salomon now, whether it's a Sense label or an S Lab or a Pro. They all designate different models and versions of different shoes, but man, it can get confusing. You just look at their website and you're like, am I looking at the Sense Ultra, the Sense Pro, the Sense 4, the Sense S Lab? It's overwhelming, but that's okay. Because talking about the Sense 4 Pro sort of gets me excited about Salomon shoes again, very similarly to how excited I was during the Sense Ride 1 and 2 reviews. It sort of reminded me of what I was really looking for in Salomon shoes and what I loved about certain versions of them. And so this shoe is not to be overlooked. The Sense 4 Pro is a super lightweight, protective, and reduced stack trail running shoe and is the grown-up adult brother to the early version of just the Sense Pro. The Sense 4 Pro features a super breathable hydrophobic mesh upper, that Kevlar lacing system that Salomon is known for, and this new Optivide midsole material. It's a fresh take with enough softness for comfort lovers and responsiveness for those who prefer a bit more ground feel. The shoe is built super tough, a lot tougher than I would have expected right out of the box. It's a really lightweight shoe, a little bit heavier than the first version of the Sense Pro, but only about 10 grams, and it is one fun ride. So as always, I like to talk about the things that I like and dislike about a product. The Salomon Sense 4 Pro is no different, starting as always with the things that I like. Ground feel. So you may have come to know me as someone who prefers a bit more midsole underfoot. I'm a bit of a bigger runner, so ground feel isn't always the quality that I go to, but this is the one that I wanted to start this review with because I love it in this shoe. You're getting plenty of protection underfoot, so if there's rocks or any sort of technical environment, you're not going to feel all that pain that you would with a lot of shoes that do have ground feel, but you're going to get plenty of sensation of the terrain underfoot, and it's something that I really enjoyed in the shoe. It's that connection between body and earth, and the shoe sort of brings you two together without overwhelming you with pain and suffering from the rocks and sharp objects underneath. Weight. At 305 grams, just over 10 ounces, it's not a super lightweight shoe, but in my size 11, that does sort of tip the scales on the lighter end, and I want to commend it for that because it's certainly a shoe that's holding up durability-wise, has really great materials, as Salomon has always been come to know to use, and that weight is not something that is a detriment to the shoe whatsoever. And after 4 versions, it's pretty much the same as the first. Consistency. And finally, durability. So when you're dealing with a lighter weight shoe, or at least a shoe that deals with materials that are a bit more minimal or reduced, you expect the shoe to break down prematurely. One thing that we've really kind of come to know with Salomon shoes is that they hold up really well for a long time. In most cases. This is no exception. So you're not getting a ton of welded overlays that you've seen on previous versions from Salomon. Just a couple here, and you have the Sense of Fit materials on the interior there, but everything is holding together really well. There's not any lamination issues or connection issues. So durability in the shoe, despite throwing it through some technical trails, muddy trails, a lot of dirt and vert, it's doing really, really well. So durability, it's a thumbs up as well. That being said, it's not all funnel cake and firework displays. There's a couple of things I dislike about the Sense 4 Pro. Let's get to those. Fit. This is probably the biggest dislike with this shoe, and a lot of Salomon shoes, so it's not necessarily this model specific. When you're dealing with these Kevlar lacing systems, some people love them, some people hate them. I really like them. The problem is that you're not going to get a very precise fit. And one thing that we've really come to know with Salomon is just their narrow shoe last. For those of you who have wider feet or need more volume or accommodating shoes, these aren't necessarily going to be it. The mesh isn't super forgiving. It's not very stretchy. The sense of fit inside is great for dialed in precise fit. You're just not going to get a lot of variability. And especially with the Kevlar lacing systems, it's kind of like once you set it and lock it, you got to stay there. You're going to probably end up having to readjust from time to time on the trail, which I do probably 2 to 3 times on a run, just having to kind of relace, retighten, and relock. Otherwise, that's it for fit. Laces. So I mentioned that I do like the Kevlar lace system from Salomon. I do, but they have the tongue pocket that is in the opposite direction as I'm used to with the Sense Pros. Basically, you're tucking the lace system into the tongue pocket from the top. What I've found is that that pocket isn't necessarily big enough to hold all of the lacing and the plastic gizmos. It ends up popping out. I end up getting the lace whole system just flopping out and hitting the shoe, and I have to readjust and pop it back in there. Whatever they're doing, I actually preferred tucking the lace system into the pocket from underneath. It felt like it kept it in there longer for me. It's just one of the nitpicky little problems with the shoe. And that's actually the last problem that I have with the shoe, which isn't a lot. So in conclusion, the Sense 4 Pro has become one of my go-to trail grabs. If the effort is anywhere from 2 to 3 hours, I'm gonna love being in this shoe. If I feel like it's gonna be a long, slow slog, there may not be enough underfoot for me for full comfort, but if I wanna feel like I'm going fast, or if I wanna be more connected to the ground and feel the environment that I'm running on, this has been my grab. It's very similar to the Lone Peak series from Ultra, especially the new Lone Peak, but over the course of a long run, you're not going to feel like that shoe is breaking down and that midsole gets more flattened out. This holds up really well. That Optivibe midsole is fantastic. And with only a 4mm drop, you really have a sensation that you're about as close to the ground as you really need to be. It's a great shoe. Let's get more specific. Build quality, as always, awesome. I've only had a few Salomon shoes in the past that have really broken down prematurely. This one's holding up a lot better than I assumed. Now, probably over 80 or 90 miles at this point, and just no signs of breaking down. Great build quality here. Comfort. So for those of you who like good ground feel, a bit of responsive yet cushioned ride, this is fantastic. It's very similar to the first version of the Sense Ride, which I already mentioned, which is one of my favorite trail shoes in the last few years. This is slowly moving up into that same realm for a shoe that doesn't need a lot of cushion to still provide you with comfort, resilience, and responsiveness. Fit. This is probably the biggest problem with the shoe. It's not going to fit everyone's foot perfectly. You're not going to have a lot of volume to work with for those of you who have feet that maybe are a little odd shaped or not slipper-like narrow. So the fit through the midfoot here is probably the biggest issue with the shoe that I've had. Price at $140. Again, it's a Salomon price point. It's a little bit higher than what you would expect. I wish it was a little bit cheaper. But, you know, decent price point. And what I've always known with Salomon is that once they get released or the next version gets announced, prices do begin to drop. So you'll see these on sale here soon. I know they've been out for a bit now, so you might see the prices drop. But at $140, that's on the fence for me. And finally, looks. Salomon always nails the looks for me. They're simple, they're modern, just blue and white. I really love their black and white version too. They're cool, they're clean, they're modern, and you can pick them out of a crowd. They don't need to be bright and flashy. You can look at the ground and see someone's foot and go, oh, that's a Salomon shoe. These are great. They're super simple, beautiful, bold colors, and I really like the looks. Bringing us to our final criteria is the Salomon Sense 4 Pro. A buy, try, or a why. I'm pretty sure you get it by now, but this is a solid buy. I've had a lot of fun in this shoe. I will continue to have fun in this shoe. It's a good adventure shoe, trail running shoe, fast racing environment shoe. For those trail efforts, I've got plenty of lugs, plenty of durability. It's fantastic. So that is it for today's review. Have you run in the Sense 4 Pro? Do you like it? Do you kind of like it? Do you prefer another shoe model or make that maybe competes with this guy? Let us know in the comments of this YouTube video. Let's get that discussion going. If you have any additional questions or you want to grab a pair of the Sense 4 Pro for yourselves, I have links in the description that'll take you over to Running Warehouse. They are affiliate links. They cost you nothing, but it does help the channel out. So consider that if you are looking to get a pair of these or any piece of running gear, really. go use the links in the description. Otherwise, that's it for today's review. If you liked it, make sure you like, favorite, and subscribe to this channel, youtube.com/thegingerrunner. We have new videos popping up every single week. Again, we have a film from last week called The Last Mile. Go watch it. And GRGR, you're going to want to register for that right now if you can. Go to rungrgr.com. We have social media links there that'll show you where you can go to follow across social media. And at the bottom, patreon.com/The Ginger Runner is where you can support this channel. That is how we make ends meet, keep the lights on, the mics hot, and for as little as $1 a month, you get to join us and see the private feed over there. $3 and above gets daily live streams. We've been doing live streams now almost 90 days in a row, so you have like 90 hours of content for $3 and above. We'd love to have you join us and the GR crew if you can. Boop. That's it. Thanks, everyone. We hope you enjoyed today's review, and we'll see you for GRGR this week. It's going to be a lot of fun. Get out there, train as hard as you can, virtually race harder, and party the hardest. See you guys next time. Bye-bye.